Good morning, everyone. We are finishing off the last section of Chapter 2 in the Pathfinder Adventures card game. I am really enjoying this one, if you haven't noticed by how prolific it's been. So, we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to fight Zanisha and figure out who's behind the Skinsaw murders. This looks like we're getting a bunch of good rewards from it. I have no idea what this means. If location shadow clock is open, okay, and no character is there, okay, so we have to keep somebody at the shadow clock until it's closed. Honestly, it might be, depending on how it's set up, we may just want to burn through that as fast as possible. We'll see. This is the shadow clock. You'll find Zanisha or one of her faceless here. She may be at one of her other hunting grounds in the city. Okay. She's found at the places that foster greed, so you'll find her influence where there is religion and commerce. If you fight her head on, make sure you land the first blow quickly. Okay. While this doesn't forgive all your sins, it is a first step. That's good. If I find that you have lost your way again, Yomide's justice will be swift. Okay. Okay. So we lose one off of our timer if nobody's at the shadow clock. We have to keep somebody there. Zanisha. If you fail a combat check, you may not play weapons or spells for the rest of the turn. Okay. So if you fail the first one, the second one is going to be rough. One Scarecrow Golem. Immune to the attack and mental traits. Okay. If defeated, you may immediately attempt to close. Just a 12, but you can't use attack. And Charmed Faceless Stalkers. Faceless Stalkers are a really weird monster. I don't think they've got them in a lot of the newer stuff. Maybe I'm misremembering, but yeah. Let's see. Before you act, wisdom check or increase the difficulty. That's normal and reasonable. We can overcome that. If undefeated, deals no damage. Bury the top card of your deck. Ugh. And if defeated, you may immediately close location. Okay. So let's see what the shadow clock is first. Shadow clock. At the start of your turn, recharge your hand and draw you up to your hand size. When closing, banish an ally. Okay. That's actually kind of rough. 3 barriers. Okay. That is not something that I enjoy. And there's no allies there to get. Shrine to Lamashtu is always going to be my last one if I have the option, because of that. When you encounter a blessing, deal mental damage. Temple is a freebie. City Gate isn't bad. We just want to make sure we win all the combat checks. So somebody who has a strong starting position, somebody who we know that he starts with a weapon and she does. So that's probably going to be Lem again. Mill. So these two are good for Lem. This one could be good for Sela. Guess we go here. He only has one ally deck. My thought is actually to have... there's not a ton here either. My thought was to have somebody else move over to help seal it, but I feel like this is probably going to work best. We'll start with this. Okay. We have a vague plan. Let's see if we can pull this off. Troubadour. Really? You're the bard. This is one thing you're supposed to be good at. Some random items. I think the troubadour just knew that I was about ready to sacrifice him to close the clock tower. Let's do Phrasma. We don't have any spells in hand. We have a bunch of crap in our hands, so I think we just keep digging. That's an undead. The Carrion Storm. A bunch of undead crows. That's really awesome, actually. So unfortunately, we're in a situation here. Ooh, that's actually really good for this. So that clock tower has 3 barriers. So this is actually a pretty good one to keep around for that purpose. We're going to do optional discards. And I think we're just going to toss those. He can discard the light crossbow to do a d4 to boost somebody else. And that's a good start. Clock tower. Okay. Story time. The clock tower leans, decrepit and sagging, a dying structure of weathered stone, wood, and rusted metal supports that teeters to an unlikely height. High above, near the clock tower's roof, a tangle of scaffolding sits in a section near a section of structure that has fallen away. The tower's clock face is frozen in time, defiantly proclaiming it to be 3 o'clock. Above, a stone statue of an angel, her wings crumbling, leans precariously. It is almost as if she were preparing a final leap from her decaying perch. The descriptions in this are so good. Recharge your hand and drop to hand size. Sure. Oh. Recharge your hand. So we basically have to just switch out our hand every turn. That makes it hard to prepare, but honestly, he's probably the best person to do. Actually, good news, Scarecrow Golem. So this is... We get to close. Oh, we don't have the thing to close. That's bad. So we have to dig through it. Charisma. We'll risk that. Chance to draw weapons is decent. I'm slightly unhappy with this. I'm pretty sure... One pyro. Okay. Goblin snake on top. Okay. So we know that we knew that was there. We're just gonna try the Constitution check. If it doesn't work, then we will burn the top card for Smite, which recharges. And this is where I think we have Lem. Discard that light crossbow. Perfect. Father Xantus is not going to be good here. I don't think we keep digging. This is just the first turn. I'm okay with her being where she's at. We can take this one a little slow. 100% because it's based on Arcane. Discard Arcane Incanter. Perfect. If we can burn through this whole deck in one turn, I will be very happy, but I don't think we're going to quite make it. We're going to get close, though. Two cards left. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we'll move to discard. We only have to discard one? Actually, I'm gonna discard Mending as well. Thieves' Tools in hand. That's good to keep in mind as well. I think we're good to just dig. Longbow +1. We'll discard Poog to draw. The guide. Hey! I think we want to keep digging. Chime of Unlocking. So, have to discard and redraw every turn. Shadow Clock. Explosive Runes. Let's go. Favor of Abadar actually has 2 extra dice against a barrier. That's good. Pretty good odds. Explore. A Glaive. Was worth recharging anyway. Top card. Eyes of the Eagle. Okay. We have somebody here. That's the important part. We're not bleeding from our clock because we have somebody at the clock. That's not a terrible item, Tome of Knowledge, but I don't think it's super useful. Very narrow. I think we want to risk this just in case. She still doesn't have a weapon yet, so just being able to get that guarantees us a weapon. I think we cure. Recharge. Father Xantus lets us recharge him to recharge this better. And we end up with armor and weapon and a bunch of cards in our deck. And we'll continue burning. Perfect, Zanisha. Okay. We really need to close this. We'll go Force Bolt. Just nuke it. That's probably our best spell. We'll recharge it. We will draw a card. We will not draw a card because Orb of Ice is on top. But we've got that one closed. That's the important part. Discard. We have something worth trading out. Don't think so. So So I think we go ahead and move forward. And we're going to hope we can get through this. I'm a little disappointed there because we don't actually have... We're missing a few things that I would like. I think we're going to discard this and keep that just to draw one more card. He's going to trade out everything. Okay. Guarantee. Fortunately, he didn't draw anything else that lets him cycle. I think all of his blessings are gone. Yeah. Check the top card again. Like, I don't know why, but it's at least good to know, I guess. Actually, we can do that during our discards phase. And we'll keep that, because having 4 weapons in hand for him is actually decent. Okay, that's right. She has Zanesha. So I have a weird thought. I think I'm actually going to go down here. We know where she is. So I'm going to go down here and help finish this off. So that we can actually get through these. Bardic Inspiration. Close location. Oh, whoops. Encounter. Recharge 1. Bardic Inspiration again. Medallion, because he's not going to be the one taking damage here. Warhammer +2. There we go. So that closes this location off. So now we've got 2 left. All of his allies. He still has 2 more allies. We need somebody with an ally over there. He has the best chance of getting an ally, I guess. So we'll have him go over here. I suppose we knew sleep was on top too, which is helpful. We'll explore again. 50-50 on chainmail. Miss. I'm kind of worried about this. But I'm not sure we're actually closing at this turn anyway. So we'll do that. No start of turn. He's going to go to the mill. So now I'll have somebody at every location. I think we do this now. Just in case we end up taking damage. I want to be able to make sure I've used my holy symbol and my cure is recharged already. encounter starts off with 1 ranged combat damage. Hey, that was a good call. And we'll just go ahead and pull that all up. Okay. We have to recycle our hand. That's okay. We're gonna do this to pull a card back. Upland Pyro. I guess Shortbow +1. Should be easy. Does 1 damage no matter what, but we can discard Amulet of Life, which apparently I have a chance at recharging. No. Why does he have the Amulet of Life? He can't recharge it. That kind of defeats the purpose. Oh well. In that case, it didn't matter, but if we go Shaylen, Secret Stash. We'll go discard Thieves' Tools to auto-succeed, recharge. Again, can't actually do that, but that's okay. We did still succeed. We know the cards that are left. There's a Goblin Pyro on bottom. I guess we just do this and finish it off. He still doesn't have an ally. We have to discard 1. So I guess we don't close it? That's unfortunate. And he still didn't draw his ally. Okay. So we know, or so we're gonna have her go to Tomb of Lamashtu. Tomb is one I don't want to go too deep on. Discard this to reveal the top 2. We can make sure there's not a blessing. There was. And then we can use her ability to bump it to the bottom. So it minimizes our chance. Okay, so we're gonna recycle his hand. This is actually where we have a chance now. Perfect. Close location, banish, and encounter. That's unfortunate, but it's done. I would have much preferred a sage. Versatile performance. Does he have cards I want back? Possibly? No, I think we're good. Recharge to auto-succeed. Draw 4 weapons. He's just dripping with extra cards this turn. Or this time. I don't think any of those are actually good. We'll discard the guide to draw. +1 for Evangelist. Lets us get Toad. No spells, so we can discard Toad. I mentioned that specifically because the Toad you can bury to draw a spell. Additional discards. There we go. So now we have that closed. We have those 2 covered. We can move him over here to actually fight her. We just have to not fail. Without your rich boys, you've got naught to protect you but scales. But there are always more. It's a shame you will not survive to be one of them. them. Okay. So we will close location. Yes. Skill check. Divine. Get that smite going. Close this location. Temp close. Pretty good odds, 90%. And then we're done. Perfect. Start with a wisdom check, which he cannot pass. Is it worth it? Oh, it's a wisdom check or a combat roll. So let's see, that's D6 and D8. I think this is D10 and D8? No, D8 and D8. So we can discard that, actually. And then discard this. That seems pretty good odds. We got it on the nose. That was dangerous. Shock longbow. Favor of Yomade. Aid. Crossbow. Only by one. Those were terrible rolls. We got by the skin of our teeth. Zanisha has a letter from her sister. My sister, I trust your little band of murderers is doing well, gathering the greedy souls for our Lord's realms. Has Magnamar proven to be as sinful as you had hoped? Are you still simply carving the Sahedron on them as they expire? How crude. My method of marking is so much more elegant. In any event, I'm sure that your plans for harvesting greed where and when you can find it in the wild are progressing well enough. I just hope that your raw, ungroomed, and likely inferior victims don't interact poorly when mixed with the purity of my own subjects. Well then. If you tire of your little project, know that you're always welcome to come back to Turtleback Ferry and serve as my assistant. Fort Rannoch should be in our control by the time you receive this letter. Okay. A more elegant Sahedron rune. Fascinating. You have a problem, sir. Okay, so we know what the reward's going to be. We got our gold. Since we finished a chapter, I'm going to do the recycling, open some treasure chests as well. And we have a Medusa Mask. When you encounter a monster from a location deck, you may display this card next to the deck. Put the monster on top of this card. The monster is neither defeated nor undefeated. It counts as part of the location deck, except for the purpose of exploring. At the end of turn, put the monster on top of the location deck and bury this card. That's weird, but not necessarily good. Snakeskin Tunic. Okay, this one I'm actually kind of excited about. Reveal to add one to a dexterity check. Recharge to reduce combat or poison damage by 1. Banish to reduce all damage. Banish. I don't like the banish ones as much. That's not bad, but it's not great. Impaler of Thorns. 1d8 plus 2, so it's a plus 2 spear. If it is to defeat a Bane, you may actually discard this card, or additionally discard this card to decrease the difficulty of checks to defeat it by 2 until the end of the encounter. Okay. If not proficient with weapons, and if you would fail a combat check with this weapon, you may discard to reroll. Nice. So that's actually really good, and we're definitely giving that to her. And a second medallion. And for finishing this, we now get to do a card upgrade. We get to add another card to each person's deck. Given what we just got, I actually want to give her a weapon upgrade because, well, actually, do I? She did just get a new option for a weapon, but all of those stay in hand. I guess this one is discarded, so maybe that makes it worth it. I'm kind of just feeling like having that weapon boost for her could be really good. The other option I'm thinking for her would be spell, because giving her a second cure option feels really good. Let's leave that for now. We could potentially give him a second weapon, which I keep thinking about as far as backups go. That feels like it could be good. Second or another ally would also be probably valuable. I think let's be secure here and just get a second weapon. Just in case we get hit, we can have a second one as a backup. He does have lots of ways to recycle his deck, but I just want to be able to get a second one. Item? I don't think of item as being that. I already have one item I don't need on him. I think maybe we do either blessing or ally here. Or spell, I guess, technically. No, I think I do another. I think I do another ally. Yeah, I think I'll go another ally there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep spell. I want to be able to do an extra cure. I like having the two cures so that you can recycle them. And right now, her second cure is banishing an ally. Or not banishing, burying. Difference. There is a difference there. I really wish there was a way to get rid of his weapon, but there's not. Or give him a blessing, but there's not. So I think we just keep going on. We either go ally or we go another item. If we go another item, we could potentially add another one of those orbs or something similar that can be recharged, an arcane item that can be recharged. I feel like that's probably good. Gives him some extra ways to add a little bit of damage since he doesn't get blessings in his deck. Adding another ally would let him dig more, basically. We give him another ally that can dig another card down. Yeah, I think that's probably. I'm kind of liking the. One of the problems I always run into with him is that he keeps hitting brick walls and not being able to keep digging. Which is why I bumped ally last time. And I'm kind of feeling like that's a good one to bump again. Let's do that. That lets him get a little deeper in the deck. Okay. Whew, okay. So Deathbane Crossbow. Longbow +1. Would be a decent option, I guess. It's based on your strength die. We can mess around with that a little bit later if we need to as well. Check to renew. Reveal this card to defeat a barrier that has lock. That is good. Yeah, that we're keeping him as is for that. We're good there. We need a second one here for him because we gave it to him. We'll give him a guide for now. I feel like Thieves' Tools are probably not as good as the Masterwork tools. And I don't think the Snakeskin Tunic. So this one is... The big difference here is this one is... Oh no, that is Banish as well. In fact, that is... So this one is Reveal for the Dexterity checks. This one is Recharge. So this actually lets him add 1 to every... Reveal to add 1 to your Dexterity check means that it adds 1 to every combat roll he does. Which is good. Obviously. Okay, not Force Missile. So I think this is the plan. So wounding a Spirix adds an extra die against a villain. So if she's fighting the boss, she gets an extra die. Warhammer is an extra +1 against regular enemies. This one is an extra +1 against regular enemies. And if it's against an enemy that requires 2 checks, you can discard it on the first check, and it'll take -2 off both checks. So that's pretty good. I know what I want here, but I don't have a spare cure laying around right now. Actually, I'll go strength over cure for her to start with. Add 3 to all strength checks for the turn. So all of her combat checks for the turn get +1, or +3 rather. Honestly, that's pretty good. Discard, but you can recycle it. He's down 2 there. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was gonna check these orbs quick to see if there was another one like the orb of ice. Recharge. Okay. Discard this card to... Yeah, I feel like that's probably still fine. No, I think that's probably good. Having an extra way to just be defensive isn't terrible. If you fail at the check to acquire this card, bury a card. 1d6 to melee combat checks. That's not good. 1d6 to... Just seeing if there's a... Recharge this to... Shuffle 1 random card from discard pile. Discard to add 2 to a divine check. Discard to explore. Honestly, that might be better than Father Xantus. She's from Pillars of Eternity. Recharge to reduce damage dealt to a character by 1. Discard to add 1 to Fortitude or Melee. Discard to explore. I mean, honestly... Those are the special ones. I feel a little weird putting those in, but I'm kind of okay with it at this point. Unfortunately, that didn't actually help us with him. Guess we add Father Xantus. We can get another Incanter. That'd be great. Yeah, I feel like that's decent. And we are going to be, we're going to be going back through this anyway, before it's all over, because we need to we're going to cash in all of those packs, all the gold for treasure chests, loot boxes. I've decided only to do that at the end of each chapter instead of every... I was kind of just doing it whenever I had the 500, and I've changed that to whenever I finish a chapter, I'm just going to cash out everything that I've got all at once so that I'm not redoing the decks over and over and over again, pretty much. Battle axe, glaive, light crossbow, short crossbow, dog slicer, Matic. We're running out of stuff to get rid of. Reveal to reduce, banish to reduce all. Banish to reduce all. Recharge. So that's slightly worse. Reveal to reduce. Yep. That's the worst of the 3. Okay. We have successfully completed Chapter 2. We'll be moving on to the Oak Mountain Massacre next. We'll see where I'm at. I'm kind of wondering about switching up my party a bit. It'll probably depend on what I pull as far as stuff goes. I just kind of feel like there's certain characters that are in the other party that might benefit, or there's a character like I like Lem. I definitely like Lem. Harsk has this weird thing where he has too many weapons, which he has ways to utilize them at least. I don't know. It feels weird. And then part of it, the problem I'm running into is that Lem likes to be at the same location as somebody, and Harsk likes to be at a different location from somebody. And then I've got Shaylen, Ezra, and I don't know. I'll mess around with it some more probably. Honestly, this party is pretty well set up at this point. It balances itself pretty well. By the way, the comments about the second party, the Fighter's Tale, Valeros, is why. Because it requires this fighter to be in your party. So we are I'm basically leveling up the other group, one behind. So right now, the second group is through Chapter 1. I'm going to take them through Chapter 2 off stream. And then we will see where we're at for this, and we'll open the loot boxes, and we'll go from there. So, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on the channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one.